Oh yeah. What up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka the 80-time social distancing champion, aka let me do something strange for that PS5 and some change, aka who put this damn muffin in my damn pocket. Bringing you yet another episode of Switch of Sights, my personal gaming podcast where I talk about just that. Um, boy, today, including pretty much since last episode, has been very, very eventful, to say the least. Boy, 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 boy. I just got a war in the head right now for some reason, but boy, my goodness. It's like, where do I even start? But goodness. Sony PlayStation, they showed out. They brought their big guns. They brought their big guns to this event. They really did. So yeah, just today Sony revealed their where they did their PlayStation 5 reveal event, and yeah, Sony did a wonderful job, man. Sony did a fantastic job. I guess I'm just gonna go over pretty much what went down for the most part. Probably skip what I either don't remember or didn't stand out to me, and what did. So started out very weird start, giving us a very false impression of, I don't know, like a false impression of like fake out of the console. It felt like, because you could tell just the camera angle and the camera work. It seemed like, oh shit, they're about to reveal the console, and they did it. Just okay, I guess squared all the face buttons. I guess, sure, PlayStation, all right. So showed that. Then they went to this weird, I guess, cadence of just showing, and then even then it was kind of like a fake out, where like it felt like they were playing on the rumors that the PS5 was going to be fully backwards compatible with like all the consoles. But in retrospect, it was basically they were just giving you a recap of the history of the console releases they had before. But yeah, it was a little disappointing. Would have liked to have gotten some confirmation about backwards compatibility, at least in terms of the extent, as to how far it will go back in terms of games that will be compatible. I mean, after today, I don't know. I'm guessing that they're really going to be utilizing PS Now. Unfortunately, personally, I really would have liked things to still be on a hardware level, but I don't know, man. I'm starting to lean more towards the PlayStation being or at least as far as the backwards compatibility is concerned, being a directly streaming based solution. Especially, well, I guess even though with the Xbox One X, there is a discless version now, aka the sad version. So maybe it's still a possibility. Personally, as somebody who likes to still physically collect games, I do hope maybe there at least is maybe solution of both, or a meeting of both, where both options are available, where if you are the type that don't want to deal with physical media, you can utilize the streaming services of PS Now and stuff like that. But if you like the physical, you could just pop the disc in and just play whatever game, or as long as it maybe works as close as possible to like Xboxes, where maybe it just needs the disc for a key and downloads the game or whatever, but still technically utilizes the hardware to play the game in a backwards compatible sense would be fine too. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah. Pretty much after that, yeah, so they were showing some of the PS4 games, like some of the games that are not even out yet, like The Last of Us Part 2 and like Ghost of Tsushima. And then out of nowhere, they showed Grand Theft Auto, at least what we thought was maybe a different Grand Theft Auto, or at least initially they basically just showed us Grand Theft Auto 5, but you kind of got the impression that, okay, maybe they're going to show us some actual DLC, or maybe the game's going to get like a substantial DLC component like everybody's been wanting and still has yet to come out. But boy, that was not the case. It was just PS5, but I mean, it's just the same game. They just literally just showed us the same game in terms of just fidelity. Nothing necessarily that stood out from a technology standpoint. But then at the end, they said, "Oh yeah, it's coming PS5, and they're gonna be adding new features or whatever." Which even then, I'm still kind of skeptical about, because my assumption is that it's probably just going to be kind of a weird way a port of the PC version to PS5 and more than likely Xbox Series X. So didn't really get sold. There's like, okay, it's a game from 2013 that we're yet porting again to the PlayStation 5. Would have definitely liked to see something new there. And then on top of that, it's not even going to be coming out until 2021. I don't know. Maybe there's something up their sleeve with Rockstar that they're maybe waiting to reveal that on their own event, or possibly with Series X at their next event. They might show something for that. But that was a bit disappointing, especially off at the start, pretty much, to show just PS4 stuff. But I guess they wanted to get the rough stuff out of the way, which they kind of did. After that, they said, hey, on this point forward, all PS5 games being shown. And boy, did they show. Boy. God of War wasn't even at the event, but I can't stop saying boy. So, man, out of nowhere, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I think the game a lot of us have been dying for, especially at least the Black community. We did get that today. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Of course, just somebody that isn't a white superhero. It was definitely nice to see, and that you could legitimately play as them. It's crazy, man. I don't think we know the full details yet. I'm assuming you probably play as Peter Parker to some extent, or maybe even like, what the last game kind of potentially maybe hinted at is being able to play as I guess to a co-op aspect of playing both Peter Parker and Miles Morales together, which would be cool. Maybe that's something they're holding in their pocket to reveal later, maybe. But that would be cool either way. But either way, at least what we know now is that definitely Miles Morales has his own game where he's the main character, and maybe some jumping back like they did in the first game, which is cool, totally fine. But just having Miles Morales, person of color, as a main character, finally getting the spotlight outside of Into the Spider-Verse. Man, it was a great thing to see, especially boy with the everything the world is going through right now. It's just so great to see, and boy got the fresh cut line up, looking spiffy as all get out. It's over. It's over. It's over for, I guess, New York. It's over for fictional New York, wherever Miles Morales is located at. Cause hide your daughters. Miles Morales is on the prowl. Okay, he looking. Well, I mean, he probably gonna be the type where he not looking, but the girl's gonna be looking at him. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Miles Morales is glowed up. Oh man. That's so cool to see. I cannot get over the fact that we are getting a freaking Miles Morales game. Literally being able to play as Miles Morales is crazy. I would assume Into the Spider-Verse may have helped with that, but I don't know. It seemed like the plot from the original game, it seemed like one way or another was veering towards that way. I totally didn't think that Miles Morales would be the main character though. That is fantastic, man. Uh Definitely totally a highlight of the show, hands down. Arguably maybe the best announcement to some extent. But boy, man, freaking play as Miles Morales, man. I am still in complete utter disbelief that I just you would just assume that, oh yeah, they're not gonna let him be the main character, or maybe some type of story explanation will maybe give him some time to shine, but not as much as Peter Parker or something like that, or maybe some transitioning, which I guess could technically be valid in with the transitioning part. But who knows? I mean, literally from the get-go, they said, hey, Spider-Man Miles Morales. This is Miles Morales' story as Spider-Man. That is so fucking cool, man. So great. So great to see. Then what happened after that? It was a couple of just games that didn't really speak to me. Of course, Ratchet and Clank was pretty cool. I've been out of touch with that series for a while, so maybe I'll probably jump back with this one, but it's good to see Ratchet and Clank come back. Little Big Planet, I guess Sackboy's getting his own game, which is kind of weird that it seemed very confusing as to what the game is gonna be, because they're using it's obviously it's from the Little Big Planet IP, but they make it seem like it's its own, I guess, standalone linear game. You would assume maybe some aspect of creation or building, doing level creation and stuff like that, but I'm not sure if that's the case. It's very ambiguous. I don't know. We definitely would need more information, but at least from going specifically off the trailer, I would assume there's some more details revealed for that specifically. But maybe something like Mario Maker, where there is a definitive single player campaign, but then you can, create levels and stuff like Little Big Planet or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, just the fact that they're not naming it, it's not another Big Planet game or a continuation of the Big Planet series as a whole. It definitely insinuates that it's going to be a way different experience, whether it's lack of creation or something else. But it was pretty cool. Probably not something I'd initially get, but definitely seems cool either way. What else did they come out with? It was some other game, some with a cat that's electric. or Electronic Cat or something. Man, that shows how much I really that game spoke to me, but it didn't. I think it was some indie game that is coming out. At least that was those are the vibes. It felt like cyberpunk, but cyberpunkier. At least I was in a chat live watching it with some friends, and yeah, just I think all we got was a trailer though. We didn't really get any gameplay for that specifically. So, but man, this one game I forgot what it was called specifically. Let me double check. It was one game that was freaking dope. Where it's basically like Twisted Metal, but like it you got the vibes of Twisted Metal meets um Rocket League. Like Twisted Metal meets Rocket League. Yeah, that's probably the best kind of comparison, at least from the footage we got. I really want to know what that game was. Trying to refer back. What was it called? Let me get it. Yeah, man, looking back, it is a lot of stuff that got revealed. Not even taking into account just the whole scale of everything. Destruction All Stars. Yeah, man, this game fucking looked great. Man. So basically, yeah, I guess the general concept is that it seemed like Twisted Metal meets Rocket League. I guess more so Twisted Metal than Rocket League, but you definitely got some vibes. I guess maybe the stadium kind of setting kind of gave at least gave me the impression. But yeah, it seemed like vehicular car combat, but like some of the cool aspects was that like it seemed like you could get like stranded. So it didn't seem like whenever your car would get wrecked, or I guess depending on how your car got wrecked, it didn't seem like you would instantly die in the car, but you can actually either manually get out the car or through out of your control get forced to abandon your car and do some antics with other cars. I saw one dude like just fucking just straight up ram a car out of nowhere. It's crazy, but in the best way possible. So that definitely is on my radar. Destruction All Stars. Yeah, it looked really cool. It looked really cool. Characters have a lot of personality. The stadium setting. It looked a lot like this one game I think Ubisoft was playtesting or had a alpha out. I think around last year's E3. I forgot what it's called, but it was like a roller derby like game with kind of Rocket League undertones a little bit. But yeah, man. Definitely. It's been a while since I had some vehicular combat, and that might be it. It might be it. Forgot about this one game called Horsemark. It's like what's the best way to describe it? It was like Control and Quantum Break meets Alien. That's probably the best way to describe it. It seemed cool. I'd want to see more, get a better idea of what the game is, but it seemed like a third person shooter set in space with alien enemy vibes. But it looked cool. I definitely would be interested to see more about that, but that was pretty cool. That kind of stood out. Yeah, we talked about Sackboy. Yeah, some of these other ones in between, they felt more indie-ish. None of them really necessarily spoke to me personally, but I could definitely see the audience. But yeah, Oddworld, that was crazy. I've not really played Oddworld, but I am familiar with the series in terms of like the character and kind of at least the general concept of what the game is. Um, it looked initially like it was a remake, but I think it actually is a sequel, legitimate sequel. Um, which is interesting because I thought like Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, I think they had some Xbox exclusivity at some point, but I think they eventually got out of those rights. And I do recall like those Oddworld games getting ported to the Vita. So I guess that kind of does line up now. So maybe there's some exclusivity in that aspect. And man, freaking Ghostwire Tokyo was interesting. Um definitely definitely a little disappointed in terms of the gameplay. Of course, Shinji Mikami graced us with his presence, and I was like, okay, I'm on board now. But it seemed like after that, they showed the gameplay, just the first person perspective. I always seem to have an issue with, at least looking outside, looking in at, not playing the game. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. At least the concepts and the mechanics and the gameplay looks cool from that perspective, but I'm just not a fan of first person outside of the traditional games. Or let me rephrase that. I'm not a fan of that first person games that aren't traditional, as in, man, how do I really phrase this? I'm not a fan of first person games that are horror. I think that's really what it comes down to. Thinking my subconsciously I'm trying to avoid that, but that's essentially what it is. Horror first person games. I don't know. I feel like I like absorbing the environments more, which I feel you get better having and being able to visualize the character in that environment, if that makes sense. You know, I don't know. Some issue I do have with that. Um, but at least from what it looks like, if it looks like it's gonna be cool either way. So it's definitely still on my radar. Just knocked down a little bit in terms of hype after seeing that it is actually first person. Um, which does make me curious as to the one girl that initially showed this game. I think a Kumi Nakamura, who I think she's with Ubisoft now. I want to say, or yeah, I think Ubisoft. I could be totally wrong, but um, yeah, she. I'm curious if this is why they were butting heads. That maybe there were some uh differences in terms of artistic differences in that way, but I'll definitely check it out. I mean, Shinji Mikami, he's he's made some good stuff. So I mean, I don't think he can, I mean, he can kind of do wrong, but he at the same time can't do wrong. As complicated as that is, but I digress. What else? Oh yeah, Godfall. I think this is the one game that was showed at um the Game Awards. Okay. At least from what I saw, I guess the rap hip hop just did kind of took me out. Don't get me wrong, love me some rap and hip hop, but it's weird. It can be very distracting and take away from the trailer if it's like a game that doesn't really make sense with it. Which in this one, it seems like it's like a futuristic medieval type aesthetic. So it is just weird to like combine those. Uh yeah, that definitely distracted me a lot to see that, but uh I don't know. From what I saw gameplay wise, it looks promising. Doesn't like have me completely sold. Um but it was fine. Just they just replaced the soundtrack. It just did not fit. Did not fit at all, not even remotely. So yeah. Yeah. That was Godfall. One little tidbit, Solar Ash, which looks like a sequel to Hyperlight Drifter, and it's made by the same dev, so I would assume that it's at least somewhat, it may be at least in the same universe, but I don't know. Hitman 3, though, that came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody was really seeing that coming. Looks cool. All we got was really a trailer, not necessarily any gameplay. I don't recall at least. But cool. I still have to play the first two actually, but or I think you can technically play the first one within two. So may at some point find some time to do that. Astrobot. I guess it's called Astrobot's Playroom. So safe to say this is VR, considering the immense success that Astrobot Rescue, I think, did. So yeah, but again, they didn't show us any VR, I guess, confirmations like playable in PS5 VR or whatever. We do know that the PSVR, the original one, is going to be compatible with the PS5. So that's good. And you know what? When you think about it, I didn't even put this together, but like the PSVR looks like it goes so well with the PS5 in terms of the at least the base initial design, which is crazy now that I think about it. It's like the design for PS5, or at least the theme, was within PSVR all along when you think about it. But we'll touch on that later. Yeah, freaking 2K, NBA 2K, man. Just sticking with the weird tradition, which I guess is just sports, and that probably speaks to the sports fans to some extent. But NBA 2K1, you got Zion Williamson. Hey guys, this is Zion Williamson. Get ready for the basketball experience of your life. Are you ready to get crossed over? I hope so, because here's NBA 2K21. And it's weird. It's like you think you could get away from just a weird, I guess corniness, but kind of forced corniness, because that's not necessarily the dialogue that he would say himself, which makes it seem kind of off. So that's exactly what kind of basically happened in this. And then just to make it just all the more weird. Oh man, now thinking about it, it's really it's really weird, but having him show in the game his in-game model, I guess he's practicing in-game, or like you can, I guess, practice in the game. If that, I guess it's in my head, it's sounding very more meta than it is, but basically practicing in the game. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. For me, it sounds weird when I say it out loud, but I believe you know what I mean. So they show his character model dribbling, practicing, and dude just looking straight sweaty as hell. I'm like, I mean, I get it. They trying to just show the game and all, but I mean, he don't gotta sweat that much. I mean, I get you trying to show additional features of the game, but like, I mean, it's only so much that a dude can sweat. It's just showing the sweat all on his face and just dripping. And I guess they just really want to show how realistic it is compared to the previous version. But I'm like, it's okay. I mean, it's basketball. People gonna buy it. But I mean, it was the weirdest thing ever, man. Ah, boy. Thinking about it now just makes it even more funnier. But oh man, it was super weird. Super weird. Just sweating. Just got Zion sweating. I mean, hey, I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like they specifically talking to somebody in a 2K, I guess, community. Just some dude that just straight like just adding straight vitriol in the forums for 2K. Like, hey man, I mean 2K is a great game and all, but these sweat physics is atrocious. I don't want it to look like a damn freaking just a damn extra coat of paint over somebody. I want that sweat to look realistic. Otherwise, I'm not with this game. Fix fix all right? Tired of it. I forgot. That's the wrong one. Fix your tired of it. It's the wrong one. Should have been using this a long time ago, but you get engaged in the conversation and all that. But I digress. that same dude is like, finally, they fixed the sweat physics. I wasn't about to buy it this year, but thankfully they fixed it. They listened. Guys, we've heard you. All right. We've heard you. We're going to give you the best experience in sweat known to man. 2K21. That was that made me lose it, man. Then we got Bug Smacks, which was just I don't think you won't be able to understand that or comprehend that game unless you're just high as hell. They had animals like turning their arms into fruit and food, but then it could change into something else. And then I think they were eating it. So I don't know what goes into there. Is that does that suggest cannibalism or I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like you can only comprehend what that game is trying to say if you're very under the influence in various ways. So yeah. Then our prayers have been answered. The daddy of PlayStation, Shuhei Yoshida. Hello everyone. That's my best impression. I'm sorry. What did he say? He said, I have something for you that you guys have been waiting so long for, something like that. And then bam, out of nowhere, Demon Souls. The rumors were true. Demon Souls remake. That is actually the game that Blue Point was working on. So, and man, looking at them screenshots, them 4K screenshots, game looking delicious. Just want to lick every damn picture I see of that, which is very dangerous in these times. But I mean, hey, it was to the point where like, I might want to risk it. A game looks good when you like, I might want to risk licking my unsanitary screen because it looks so good. Some things make you do that. I'm just saying. So yeah. Game looking great. It hurts too because I just beat it like let's say 1-2 years ago, the original. So now the pain again. I'm probably gonna do it. But I would assume they made a lot of quality of life improvements since there was a lot of that roughness in the original game. I would assume within reason, but we'll see. But man, game looks glorious. Hope it's a launch title because that's definitely playing it if it's a launch title. But man, it's crazy. Not that it's true. It was true. It just felt so what's the word? So impossible, I guess. Just considering how established From Software is now. And, even though I guess they technically weren't involved in the game, but I assume there's some extent of like consultation or something. But that's crazy, man. Demon Souls remade PS5 is real. Can't believe I'm able to say that now. I know a lot of people were saying Bloodborne too, but who knows? That could still be in the works. Maybe just not this year, or they probably have that in their pocket for next year or something like that. I would assume. So there was Deathloop, which is cool. I know we saw that before. It felt like a spy action thriller. Like what's the one? It felt like a deviation off Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I forgot the official term, where a husband and wife are trying to kill each other. I think it's kind of a similar dynamic, it seemed like, but with a Groundhog Day spin on it, which seems cool. I'd probably wait until reviews and how the game is overall perceived, and boy, oh boy, they finally did it. Resident Evil 8, or my bad, Resident Evil Village, the official title. Looking good. So yeah, boy, let me go in right now. Oh shoot, I forgot to record. I forgot to hit record. I'll just keep this going either way. Let me freaking tell you, this has been a secret I've been holding for months now. Been killing me inside. It's been a lot of opportunities. I really wanted to say something, but NDA, can't really say much. But I'm pretty sure now that it's officially been announced, released. They've had some additional trailers showing gameplay and stuff. So I think it is totally fine now to talk about it. I actually was very fortunate to be one of the people selected to play test RE8 before it came out via the RE Ambassador program. So basically, every once in a blue moon, they give you an email saying, hey, we're opening play tests to RE ambassadors, and you just put in your information and submit it, and then maybe if you meet certain criteria, you'll get chosen, essentially. So that's pretty much what I did. I did get selected. I had like an interview with a playtest company, and sure enough, yeah, the day came. I went and play tested, and man, it's pretty good. Pretty good, I have to say. So pretty much all of what you really see in the trailer is pretty much what I played in the demo, with a lot of minor exclusions. Like some of the women, that mansion in particular, I didn't play that part. Mainly I played the section where it shows Chris freaking shooting lighting up Mia, and then the snowy village area, which you will see in some of the aspects in that trailer. So pretty much that demo is what I played. Now, whoever some bad souls, shame on you. for the people that leaked the game, people who are part of the same program I was in, and just straight leaked the information to some of the people. I think they leaked it to some folks that rely on horror, and I forgot the other people. I think maybe just rely on horror, but I want to say Reddit maybe, but yeah, unfortunate, man. This is why we can't have nice things, but yeah, I definitely kept my ass quiet about that. So at least it feels good now that now the game's finally announced and all the information is out. Can finally talk about it. But yeah, man. So I guess I'll just give you a quick rundown of the demo of what I played, since it's basically lines up with the trailer a lot. Really nothing like revelatory or like spoilery that wasn't in the trailer. So at least the demo I was playing, you start off in this house with Ethan as the character, and then you were holding a baby. So it seems like Ethan and Mia had a baby. That's at least the impression you got from what I was playing. And basically, you walk around the house, get a little bit of the backstory of how this came to be. I'm not sure of the time frame. This takes place after 7. I know that at least for sure. It definitely takes place after 7. But it doesn't seem too concrete in terms of the timeline into how far this is from 7's, the events of 7. But definitely takes place after that. And yeah, so you're basically walking around the house with the baby, and just what's the term for it? I guess world building, lore building, story building, all that combined. So you do that. Then you all sit down and eat together, and then out of nowhere, Chris blasts down the damn door, or no, they bust the wall in the house. He comes in, pops up Mia, and she's on the ground bleeding, and then they, like the clip they show in the trailer, and just lit her ass up. And this is me just playing this for the first time, not knowing any of this. I'm like, okay, all right, whoa, all right, okay, yeah, whew, boy. So I had to keep a lot of that in for all these months, knowing that, and the people, well, unfortunately, the other people leaking it. Apparently, from what the people leaked, there were different versions of the demo. So at least what I played was the demo where Chris came in and lit up Mia, and then just finished her off. I'm not sure about the other version of the demo, where I guess there were some slight changes to particular aspects. So, but at least the demo I played, that's what I played. And I guess at least when I was speaking with the playtest, I guess coordinator, what have you, it's interesting because at least in my application, I said I hated RE7, which is true to a pretty good extent. I guess it was a fine experience playing initially, but after that it was very annoying. I didn't get the urge to want to play it again. Like, I played the DLC and stuff, but just the first person perspective really threw me off or turned me off. Just knowing the previous games were all third person, including obviously, RE2 remake and RE3 remake, which I guess kind of isn't relevant since that RE7 came out before, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I had a lot of gripes with RE7. The character diversity, just a very huge lack of that. Which I guess you can argue that Joe Baker was kind of the was it Joe or Jack? I think Jack. Jack Baker. I think Jack. Now I got to fact check. Let's do on the spot correction. On the spot correction. Okay, Joe is the brother that you play in the DLC to save his niece. Jack Jack is the guy I was talking about, the enemy that you know, who's like the reoccurring nemesis like person in RE7. So yeah, but overall as a whole, I just couldn't get over the fact that it was first person. Also, yeah, with the enemy variety, I just didn't like that. That really turned me off from the game. I haven't played it on PSVR. Plan to do that at some point whenever I get around to getting a PSVR. But yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, playing this is pretty much the same first person. Yeah, first person, which is disappointing, but at least playing the section I played, pretty much after that moment where Chris lights me up, you go into this, very dark wood area that's in the trailer. And then after that, there was this segment kind of similar to RE4, where it's kind of like you're closed up inside a house and you have to defend yourself. But there was kind of a catch where you had to kind of get yourself out of the house. So that was kind of, I guess, the gotcha where you had to figure that out. But yeah, I died once and then figured that out, got out, and at least the enemies were basically the enemies shown in the trailer, where it's weird. They're like a mix between werewolf and humans, it felt like. So it kind of felt like the villagers, but werewolves. So they kind of acted in that manner where they kind of had some human elements, but mainly they were very, feral and, werewolf like. They mainly crouched. They had kind of unpredictable movement similar to like, well, not really. I found them to be harder to shoot against because of their crouching nature. And I guess maybe after some time you'll get used to how they move, but at least initially playing it, they moved very sporadically, not like in a very predictable sense, like, the characters, enemies from RE4 and 5 or whatever. So there was that element that I found a little bit of difficulty in, but in general, the game felt really polished what I played, outside of the environments, which, obviously you have to totally understand that they're still working on some aspects like that. But in terms of general game, it felt pretty good. It felt very just similar to RE7. It just felt maybe slightly faster paced, more actiony. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We played it on PS4, so we didn't know. At least I had a PS4 controller, played it on a PS4 Pro, and didn't have any, notable differences or whatever. But I guess they maybe initially were thinking of making it cross-platform, but I guess maybe they changed on that opinion. So I guess maybe now they're, at least from what they said, they're doing only PS5 and Xbox Series X. So looks like it won't be cross-platform now, but I definitely did play it on the PS4 Pro, at least that demo. So there was that. There was the weird like fairy tale introduction at the beginning. It was like storyboarded, so it seemed like it was like a Disney movie. And I'm like, mind you, we didn't know what we were expecting. We knew it was something Resident Evil related, but we didn't know what it was. I mean, I definitely suspected it was RE8, but you didn't know for sure which one it was. But yeah, at least the initial trailer, it seemed like some story, some Disney princess fairy tale, at least how it was designed. But I'm pretty sure they are changing that, or maybe that they're gonna stick with. I don't know, but that's at least what I played. So yeah, so pretty much after that segment, just basically exploring the snowy village area. So it looked a lot like RE4 in a few aspects, but basically just with snow. That's probably the best way to describe it. You can definitely tell there was a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil 4. You could actually get a spinal item, which is very synonymous with RE4. I guess in the build in the gameplay information they showed, I think after the PS5 trailer released, they showed the menu being more expanded. At least in the demo I played, the menu was very similar to RE7. So I believe people said that they were playing on the other build, or at least the supposed other build of this demo for playtesters. There was that file menu system compared to the one I experienced, which was more akin to RE7. So there was that aspect, but yeah, yeah. So I'm actually very fascinated to see the differences, which I'm not sure if I fully I'm very excited just to finally release this, but um yeah, I lost my train of thought. It was something about RE8 in terms of oh yeah, the differences between versions, I guess. So yeah, so I think the common thing that we noticed amongst us is that all of us hated RE7 or very much disliked it one way or another. And then I think at least talking with the playtester, the other version, or at least the other playtest, which I think was the day before or after, was for people that loved RE7. So I think they catered the demos to each type of audience to get a gauge for yeah, what people won't or will like based on the different versions, or people that are more critical about RE7 versus people that loved RE7. So I don't know, but yeah. So for what that's worth, so I'm not sure in terms of the differences in demos. At least that's what's been heavily rumored, is that there were two types of demos. Which yeah, now thinking about it, I know we talked about it before. That is so damn creative that like it totally weeds out people that leaked shame again on people that did leak it, but leaked information about the demo. So it instantly cuts people off in terms of like, okay, it's got to be some people from this particular group versus the other or whatever. So it's unfortunate. Definitely would love to playtest more of the games if in the future, if ever possible. But I don't know. I'm not sure how their protocol works with RE ambassador programs. It seems like it's just a new round of anybody, and I don't think people can reoccur and come back or whatever. I would assume, at least. I don't know, but it was overall, I have to say, it was a pretty awesome experience. Just not the cool luster of not knowing something super big that you're a huge fan of, which is Resident Evil is definitely one of my favorite series of all time. So it's definitely an honor to be able to play test and provide some legitimate feedback for somebody that passionately loves this series, which I definitely gave them my feedback for sure. And hopefully try to get that ball rolling. But they, ask some questions in terms of like, games you're playing now and stuff like that. Had to put in the RE Outbreak because had to give the love for that. So at least put that in the universe within Capcom. Pretty sure they're aware, but so so yeah, so at least going back to the demo, yeah, so pretty much just exploring a snowy area. It was just a very minute closed off section. So it was some particular puzzle element that you had to figure out, like pushing a cart or something. So after I did that, you go into the house and then you get this little cutscene, which I don't really want to go into because they didn't necessarily put that or reveal that in the trailer. I could just say I think it's safe. It was just somebody who was I think it's fine. So basically it was somebody who like typical zombie-ish fashion got infected and killed a lot of people. Like at least I think that's so safe, but basically it was something like that where they somebody got infected, killed a lot of people, and then it was another area after that, and then that was it for the demo. That's where at least they told me to stop, or that's where it ends technically. So again, pretty much basically the trailer. A lot of it was shown. So I think it's totally fine to talk about it now that it's officially been announced, outside of people that just we can't have nice things, just want to spoil everything and leak all the stuff, which is unfortunate because man, they gave us a little video saying, hey, welcome RE ambassadors, we're trusting you very much to keep this information tight or whatever. We signed NDAs and people just straight up did not honor those. So yeah, unfortunate, but man, it was definitely great. Definitely one of the best days of my life for sure. Just being able to play test a game, play test and provide feedback for a game that is one of my favorites, franchises, series ever. Was wonderful. Was very, very wonderful. It was a great day that day. It was, boy, man, I've been having to keep this in for like months. It was killing me, especially people were talking about it, especially, boy, the rumors too. I was like, I did not want to chime in. I was very neutral. I was like, yeah, man, it seems like that would be true or something. But yeah, man, it was great. Wonderful experience, man. Wonderful experience. Just felt really good to provide feedback on, like I was saying, a series you do really care about. So yeah. Anything else about RE8 that no, I know at least the feedback I provided was just make the game more scary. And we got into a discussion about what kind of makes a game scary or just horror in horror in a genre in general. And we kind of tried to dissect that, what that kind of means. We talked about like gore and stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, we definitely saw the title, what the game is gonna be called, Resident Evil Village, with the 8 in disguise in the subtitle. Yeah, it just did not stick with me. It just was weird. I don't know. Just Village didn't really resonate with me. But I think in time, after it's been out and then, played it, experienced it, I think it'll be more solidified to I don't know, discuss. So yeah. So that's pretty much my whole experience with RE8 playtesting it. Legitimately playtested the game before it was revealed to the masses and before people just wanted to leak it. And now I'm thinking, I'm curious if it's some of the people I was with. I know they had groups in various areas throughout the country. But I'm curious, like some of the people in the room I was with, did they leak it or whatever? You never know, I guess, but it's kind of messed up. But yeah, it was so cool, man. So cool. As somebody who's never done anything like that before, let alone one of my favorite game series, it was so cool. So ah, finally let that out. Let that out. Feels good. Feels good. So yeah. Um and also just I guess to talk on the game and the trailer that we saw. Thank God, Chris. Again, I was rooting at initially after I saw it, but so thankful Chris looks good again. Wasn't a fan of weird looking fuglyish fugliest Chris. Uh wasn't looking that good. But yeah. Yeah. Which at least initially I was suspecting that maybe he's a clone. Like maybe the Chris I guess spoilers if this actually is true, but I have doubts if that actually is, but because Chris looks so drastically different and non-muscular, and now in 8 he looks totally like he does in RE6. It would make total sense that maybe that Chris is a clone, and the actual Chris is the Chris we see in RE8 now. And then throughout the story, somehow we find out how he is and was how he is a clone and why he is a clone. Why did he clone himself and all that? Especially since they touched on it in RE6 with Ada cloning her. It wouldn't be too far fetched to think that that could be a possible legitimate theory. So, especially since the trailer's out now, definitely see like all the RE fans doing these straight theory trailers and uh, deep dive theories into why Chris is a clone. Which is cool. I'm totally down. That'd be a cool plot if it actually comes to be true, but instantly I thought, well, not instantly, it took a while to marinate, but I was like, yeah, maybe he is a clone, and somehow, some way, maybe it was unintentionally, maybe it was by mistake, maybe it was intentional to some extent. I don't know, but it would be a cool story aspect to kind of play with and kind of respectfully retcon ugly fugly Chris in from RE7. I think that's probably the best way to handle it in terms of maybe cleaning up horrible design in RE from RE7, his horrible design, and at the same time giving it some story, I guess, resonance, so would be cool if it does deliver on that, but hey. So after that, yes, just weird. This new game, I guess, out of nowhere, and according to some of the leaks on Reset Era, it seems like the trailer came out, or the trademark for the title just recently got registered, which totally makes sense now because that actually is the name, Pragmata. It's very ambiguous, vague, uncertain what this game is, but you definitely got a lot of Death Stranding vibes at first. I'm like, wait a minute, maybe this is Death Stranding DLC. But it looks like it's some dude in a spacesuit, at least in the trailer. He comes down, he finds this girl. It looks like they're in Times Square in New York City. Finds this girl, and then I guess all reality breaks loose. Their plot twist, they're not in Times Square, they're actually in orbit, and I'm still confused by what I saw actually. But then they go into space and then Pragmata. That's it. So not really sure what I saw. It was very vague. Nothing really to kind of grasp onto. No, I guess didn't seem like any technical gameplay or legitimate gameplay, but yeah, I need to know more, but it seems promising at least. Hopefully it's not another Deep Down, which I am kind of hurt by now actually, because we didn't get any damn Deep Down. That's one of the games I made a very long shot guess, long shot bet on, in terms of if you're a fan of what's the one site, Fantasy Critic Games. Basically it's kind of like I know I touched on this a while ago, but basically it is fantasy football but with the games. But it's kind of funny I say that now, because like fantasy football is basically an emulation of RPGs, which are games. So essentially gets real meta now that you're basically a have a fantasy game publisher, and you draft various games. And if there's a lot of things that go into play if a game actually does very good from a rating standpoint, score, based on how many points it is past 70, you'll win that specific amount of points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the year wins the team. Basically just for bragging rights. Nothing like, oh, we big balling right now, we putting 1,000 in the bank or whatever. So actually tried to make some last minute bets, but did not actually fall through. So did I actually bet for Demon Souls? Let me check that real quick, because boy, I will have hit the jackpot if so. Damn it. Oh, oh shoot. I totally did. Just realized that now. Oh boy. I am in the money, baby. I am in the money. Hell yes. Oh, that's going to give me a lot of points. Yes. I'm back in the game. I was hurting a bit. Resident Evil 3 didn't deliver like I wanted it to. Streets of Rage 4 did pretty good. Hopefully Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell comes out this year. That's a huge shot in the dark, but hey, go big or go home. That's what I say. Ooh, yes. Oh man, I am very excited right now. I totally forgot. I totally made a shot in the dark bet for Demon Souls remake. Yes. Oh man, an announcement feels so much sweeter now. Sorry, this is a total revelation I have on stream right now, on live. That feels so good. That's definitely if that game is not a 90 at least, I would be very disappointed. It's got to be something. Yes. I mean, it's the standard foundation of Demon Souls, but with PlayStation 5 graphics and everything, improvements. Come on now. It's hard to fail that. I am so elated right now. Oh man. Demon Souls. So thankful I drafted you. All right. Keep dreaming. All right. That's the story. Keep dreaming. Yes. Demon Souls. So glad I made that bet. Oh my God. Shot in the dark, baby. Oh yes. Oh, okay. Let me compose myself, because boy, that had me giddy as a schoolgirl on a Friday night. I don't feel like you can get something with that. What are schoolgirls Giddy about. Oh, giddy as a squirrel girl at a sleepover. I guess. I don't know. I shouldn't even know what schoolgirls like. That just would make me weird, you know? Hey, so let that pass. Thank you. Oh man. So yeah, so after PlayStation 5, um what else? After PlayStation 5, or Pragmata, my bad. I'm sorry, the Demon Souls, realizing I freaking bet on Demon Souls. Ugh, I am so proud. Probably at like, I think I only bet like $1 to get it. Ugh, so thankful. All right, getting back to reality. Pragmata. I yeah, we definitely need to see more about that. So I'm not sure about the status of what that's gonna be, but I guess on the other side of Demon Souls, which is might actually even me out, unfortunately, not which I knew. I actually made a counter bet. Somebody made a pick for a Horizon Dawn sequel, which fuck is hopefully if it doesn't come out this year, I'm good, but it may probably come out this year, so I might be screwed because that game is gonna be real good and that's gonna fuck me up point wise. So basically, if you make a counter pick, when you make a counter pick, you're essentially betting that either the game doesn't release this year or is gonna do real bad. At least my theory was that the game wasn't going to come out this year. So that's at least why I made the bet against it. And yeah, so now that the game at least is announced, hopefully it doesn't come out this year. I don't think there was a release date, but if it does come out this year, then as well as get is good, which is very likely, I will be screwed. So based off how many points it gets will be a detriment to my point percentage in terms of basically the reverse of how many good points you get from a good game that's on your game list, your publishing list or whatever. So fuck. I mean, that looks like it's gonna be a launch game. And man, fuck. So I gotta, damn it. Who knows? Maybe it won't come out. Maybe there's going to be I mean, hate to say it, but you know, coronavirus and stuff. Maybe I might get lucky, in the most unfortunate terms. But you know, hey, I mean, I'm just trying to win. So you know, man, I can't believe I totally did gamble on a Demon Souls remake. Yes. Oh man, I am so happy about that. Oh, is that going to come out this year? Damn it. I don't know. Okay, getting back on track. Yeah, so Horizon Dawn, good. Yeah, I still have to play the first one. I still haven't played the first one. I have it, but definitely plan to play that sometime soon. Probably after The Last of Us. I forgot they got the one dude from he was in John Wick. He was in Quantum Break, the black guy. At least in John Wick, he was the, I think, what do you call them? Service desk attendant for the whole hotel. It's a term for hotel assistant. I forgot. Not bellhop. Gotta look it up. Receptionist? I guess it'd be receptionist. I guess. Okay. You know what I mean. Either way. Wanted to fact check on live instead of, you know, be very politically incorrect or whatever, you know. Either way, after that, they showed Horizon. Well, I guess the official title is Horizon Forbidden West. So there's that. Then yeah, after that, it was very up in the air. I'm like, okay, just the they were doing some weird stuff with some like small balls that look like dots if they were like playing and mingling and mixing together or whatever. And then they finally revealed. Thankfully they did, because they're very ambiguous and vague about if they're actually going to reveal the console form factor or not. And finally they did. And they did it tenfold. They showed the console. They revealed that there's gonna be a digital only version. So a sad version of the PS5. As well as like the headset, which, man, now how they're considering, they're really touting their 3D audio technology. I feel like that's gonna be like mandatory if you want to get the full experience of PlayStation 5, a media remote, which I mean, that might seem little to y'all, but at least my implications is that it's really good now, since I personally use a Harmony remote. For those that don't know, it's basically the best thing known to man, the best thing since sliced bread, that lets you automatically control all your devices automatically. So you could just simplify everything to one command. And if you have everything set up correctly and that is remote controlled, you could do a lot of cool stuff in terms of voice commands, telling your consoles to be turned on. And it's for for somebody who's technologically advanced, it's a, man, it is heaven sent dream. Instead of having to manually have like 50 controls to control various devices, which technically for me I would have, but just having everything simplified to one damn remote, which I wish I had, not on me right now, but is great. Just saying one command to do something in particular you want. So let's say I have 4 or 5 devices. I want to just play a particular console. I just tell my Alexa to turn on something. It'll automatically turn on all the chain of devices and just be able to play. Not try to remember, like, is this input 4? Okay, so from input 4, I gotta go to input 1, and I have to chain those together, and then I would need to make sure this other device is on this particular input, because I honestly do have that set up where it's very complicated. Anybody who doesn't know is not gonna know how to set it up. It's gonna fuck something up. So it is great, man. Yeah, very good to see, because PS4 is a pain in the ass to control via Harmony. It seems to have some dumb philosophy about not letting a console get controlled via remote control commands or something like that. I don't know, but it seems like, considering it has a remote, it might be more lenient now in letting you be able to control it how you want. So it's a good thing, great thing, wonderful thing. So yeah. So yeah, they showed I guess a dedicated charging stand, which is cool. It holds 2 controllers, so kind of akin to the older, or at least the third party one, so that's good. Then they have the camera, which looks very similar to the original PS4 camera, but it has, I guess, a white bracket on it to accent it. And going back to the PSVR thing, it definitely seems like the PSVR is going to be right at home with the design factor, because it has that same white with black accent, I guess, motif going on too. So that's cool. All in all, like, seeing it together, because it was very jarring just seeing the console, but now seeing it together with, seeing the controller, but now seeing it together with the console. It definitely looks way more like official, sleek. I guess people maybe say futuristic, but I don't know, man. It looks good. Looks good. I was very skeptical initially for sure, but at least now seeing it fully fleshed out looks cool. And now I'm seeing it. Now it does actually still maintain the V shape still that was in the prototype. You see the V is right down in the front. I guess subtly, but it's definitely there. Um, Kind of a bummer the PS logo is not there. Would have been cool to still have that as a node somewhere. Maybe it does. Maybe it's hidden. Um, and it does look like it does go vertically. I mean horizontally as well. Still, it would definitely be weird if it was just like you can only have it vertically instead of horizontally. But I don't think that's the case. So good stuff. So yeah, definitely good show. Sony, have to give them credit because they definitely showed up. Had a lot of great games I wanted to play. They showed out. Demon Souls is actually real. Frickin' Miles Morales Spider-Man. Resident Evil 8. It's pretty good showing. We finally know what the damn console looks like now. Thank you, Sony. Obviously, the biggest, I guess, disappointment is that there's no price yet. Which, at this point, you could definitely tell that PlayStation and Microsoft, or Sony and Microsoft, are playing chicken, the biggest game of chicken right now, as to who's gonna reveal the price of their console. So more than likely, the other one is gonna undercut and try to, get the upper hand. So I don't know. I feel like Microsoft is gonna force PS5 to reveal their price, and then Xbox is gonna try to undercut. I really do think that's gonna probably happen, unless they may be waiting for July. They may be waiting for July for Xbox to do their, I guess, official presentation, or yeah, I think their official presentation, and then see what they're gonna do after that. But yeah, I guess it could technically go either way, but hopefully Microsoft learned their lesson and not try to be bold with their price and have PlayStation just straight undercut them and still again get the advantage of price. What would be interesting that actually I think could possibly happen is maybe history might repeat itself, but then maybe Xbox may go lower or announce that, hey, we're actually going lower this time, and then kind of undercut PlayStation, just being straight up like, hey, actually our price is now this. And then I doubt Sony is going to try to follow suit and be like, well, now our price is this or whatever. I don't know. Definitely a lot of possibilities for sure, though. For sure. But yeah, overall, definitely very satisfied with PS5. We finally got a lot of details we wanted to know outside of the price, but I mean, hey, at least it's something for us to latch on to, or yeah, just get a grasp on. So good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, it looks really good though. I have to admit. Looks pretty good. Looks very bold, very unique. Does look like something that stands out, which I think that's definitely all you want from a console. Now in retrospect, now knowing what both consoles look like, definitely I have to say PS5 does look better just from an overall design standpoint. I do like Xbox's like kind of sleek, minimalistic design too. I guess it all comes down to preference essentially, but of the two, I'd say I do kind of gravitate to PlayStation 5 more just from a general gut reaction perspective, but nice. This is next gen. We're officially in the next gen, guys. Get ready for it. Yeah, boy, that price though. We need to know that sometime soon. I mean, people need to start making 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 loans, investments, and get sugar mama, sugar daddies before all this all this goes down. You know, considering ongoing joke, at least on Twitter, that that gotta find me a sugar mama, sugar daddy in order to get me a PS5 because I doubt it's gonna be cheap. My prediction at least is probably 500 at the minimum, and considering the PS5 has different ranges, it might either be 500 or maybe 500 for the digital edition and maybe 600 for the disc edition, or something like that. Maybe probably the same format with Xbox Series X too, where they might have the same suit, especially them already having one already in terms of, you know, the SAD from previous gen. So I think that's what we're seeing. I think we're probably going to get some options where, you know, maybe various hard drive tiers are different, and, you know, depending on the size, will be more expensive. So gonna need to start looking for them sugar moms and sugar daddies soon. They need to let us know. It's funny seeing that going around. I'm just trying to get a PS5 though. I'll do anything. Oh man, I think because we went totally in on PS5 coverage, I guess I might have to cut some stuff just to make time. Yeah. At least first, Ryota Suzuki, the designer on Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma, joined Square Enix as battle director of a new AAA title. So that was one thing I guess we didn't see Final Fantasy 16. I know a lot of people were suspecting that, but I guess it's probably a safe bet that he's probably working on that. Maybe some consultation on not Resident Evil, but Final Fantasy Remake 2 to some extent, maybe. But it's probably safe to say he's working on Final Fantasy 16. I think that's what a lot of other people are rumoring as well. So pretty cool though. Then next, Destiny 2, I thought before all this happened, is set to be coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and I think will be one of the first cross-platform, cross-generation games. So PlayStation 4 can play with PlayStation 5 and Series X, and, you know, pretty much everybody else all together. So they said it'll run 4K 60 FPS on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X as well. So it's funny because I've been holding out on Destiny 2, at least initially was because of my sour taste with the first one. Like I put a decent amount of time into it, but I don't know. It felt too RPG-ish for me for a shooter. I think I wasn't really a fan of those two genres clashing together. Didn't feel right. I guess maybe I just didn't like the continual grind. Even though I kind of do that with Call of Duty, but I think it does a better job at masking it than this game does. But yeah. And I think also they're announcing a whole new campaign. And apparently it's going to be expansions planned for 2021 and 2022 as well. So yeah, they're not letting this go. which is good. I guess this is technically the vision they wanted for the original Destiny, but with Activision grasping their yanking the chain every now and then, it seems like it was harder and harder for them to do that. But now that they're solely by themselves, independent, I think they definitely are doing a lot of stuff they actually wanted to do, but were restricted in some way or another, which is pretty cool. And actually, I think more so giving me kind of a justification to start getting into Destiny. And I think now too, to kind of at least compare what Destiny on PS4 or the previous gen consoles will look like on next gen, will actually be pretty beneficial too. So sometime soon, I probably might get into Destiny. It's kind of weird to say out loud, but I think I might. Yeah. Then also Persona 3 and Persona 4 Golden actually appeared on SteamDB, which is basically the site that actually logs Steam additions to the Steam library. So it basically tells you like, hey, if a particular game is added or some change would basically indicate some particular change that is coming to Steam in one way or another for a particular game or not, which in this case, it seems pretty likely Persona 3 and Persona 4 Golden are actually coming to Steam according to that. So makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people love Persona. I've yet to get into it. I got 5 Royale, but just daunting at how large that game is. It's been intimidating me to start it. So who knows? But I'm definitely interested. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, just had to do a rapid fire there. Since this whole PS5 event, legitimately so, took up most of the episode, and I am pressed for time. Let's dive real quickly into what I've been playing. That Modern Warfare keeps going. The new season came out, I think technically last night. I haven't got a chance to play it since then. Play a little multiplayer with my roommate, but outside of that, that was pretty much it. I think, yeah, I played a little bit of Warzone and co-op, which is pretty good. Actually been finally getting into Animal Crossing. I have to say, I understand the loop. I understand the addiction because I can see components of it. So I currently, progress-wise, I've indebted myself to Tom Nook. So I have a house now. So now I'm trying to, get a better concept and try to get a better handle on the loop. I know it's generally beneficial to visit the game during particular times of day as well, which I've been trying to do when I can. But I'm digging it. It definitely feels like the game you kind of come to and then, come back eventually and stuff like that. So yeah, been thoroughly enjoying it. I think, what am I trying to do now? I'm trying to give the damn sound like a stereotypical black man, trying to give this damn owl some of my damn relics and bugs and stuff so he can build a museum. You sound totally weird if this is coming to somebody else trying to get this damn bugs to get this damn museum built or whatever. Sound like straight ignorant black man, but I digress. Also, finally got around to beating Nier Automata. Well, I guess depends on how you interpret beat, but I technically beat the game, but the catch is there's like freaking 26 endings to this game, which I don't even know if I'm ever gonna get to doing legitimately. More than likely we'll play a few endings and then probably just watch the other ones on YouTube. We'll see. But yeah, at least playing the game initially, I think it was like 15-ish hours. Beat that, and then now I'm doing my second playthrough, which it definitely, at least from what I played, it seems way more drastically different drastically different than at least the original game, because I know that was one of the gripes I had with the original Nier, was that it didn't feel like it strayed too far from it didn't feel like it strayed too far with each subsequent playthrough, where it didn't feel like it only felt like very particular parts in the campaign that were different, but not enough to really warrant playing the game repeatedly, if that makes sense. But at least the impression I'm starting to get from this game is that at least each playthrough is drastically different enough where it does legitimize or validate you actually playing the game multiple times, where you see some new different perspectives and angles of the story, which I am definitely getting from at least my second playthrough. I'm not sure how much that still remains with each one, how drastically different each one will be, but I think at least I'll give it 3 playthroughs, I'm guessing, to get a better concept of how it is. And then from there, see how I feel about it, if I want to keep playing it or if I just want to just, be good. Like, I got the concept and then maybe just spoil myself on some other ends. But it's like, I don't know, that FOMO is a powerful thing, but we'll see. We'll see. And then also been playing Streets Race 4 again because that game is great. Ugh. I have to say it's probably the best Streets of Rage ever, to be honest. Like right behind right after 2. I'd have to say, man, because I am playing the hell out of it. Just the whole aspect of juggling and combos just really makes the game fresh each time you play, because it's just that element of randomness and just things that you didn't know that you could do, that I still find myself discovering particular aspects in the game that I didn't know I could do, which is awesome. So I do find myself still playing it now. I'm playing the PS4 version to try and unlock all the characters at least. That's at least kind of my sub completion objective. I know I've pretty much unlocked all the 1 characters and 2 characters. Now I'm on 3. I think I unlocked Blaze and Axel Streets of Rage 3. So now I'm pretty much working on unlocking everybody else. So been having a wonderful time with that, actually. That game is great, man. I'm so glad Streets of Rage is definitely the quintessential beat 'em up of modern day beat 'em ups. I say, if this is just the perfect way to do a beat 'em up, man, just combos, juggling. Cannot stress how great that game is. Definitely, it's starting to shape up to really be my game of the year, honestly. So then that's at least pretty much all I've been doing gaming wise. So at least outside of gaming, on Netflix, been watching this show Black AF, or Black is which has been great, actually. So basically, just to give you a general gist, the story is based on the writer for Blackish. I think Blackish, Mixish, and Youngish. I think that those are all the shows under the Ish umbrella. And I think he's wrote a lot of other older stuff too, like I think some movies and stuff like that. So I believe he's a generally renowned writer in the media. But I guess now he's taking an acting role, and this is kind of, I think, it feels like a mix between Blackish, at least some of the episodes I've seen, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. So basically, it goes around the plot of him, being a writer and dealing with his family, and basically having a privileged life as a Black person, which I think is always a interesting dynamic to kind of explore and talk about, which I've actually been enjoying, just being a privileged and Black versus, other stereotypes of Black people, which is, I think, is one aspect. Yeah, you don't really see a lot outside of, I guess, famous people, but kind of this guy is not necessarily famous, but he does know famous people, but he still can maintain kind of a privacy to some extent. That's at least the vibe I got from the show. But um yeah, so it does definitely uh do a lot about commentary and just um particular aspects that you would assume happens for people that are, very privileged, rich, blessed people, and how they deal with, traditional day-to-day life, trials and tribulations, kids being spoiled and stuff like that, which I've been enjoying. So definitely actually recommend it for, all walks of life, not just black people. It definitely is great for this type of media to kind of educate black people, I mean non-black people, what to do and what not to do, what's okay and what's not okay. So definitely recommend it for all walks of life for sure. Outside of that, that's been it for me. I think that'll conclude episode 59 of Switches Sites. Forgot to say today's date. January. No, it's not January. What? June 11th, 2020. So yeah, if you enjoyed this show, feel free to like, rate, subscribe on your particular podcasting platforms. If you maybe just watch this on VOD or Twitch, you can also follow me or watch this show on Twitch TV/aswitch, where I do stream this show every Thursday, at least for now, at roughly 4-5-ish p.m. Can also catch the show on youtube.com/aswitch for the people that maybe just don't follow podcasts and maybe just like to listen via YouTube. I got you. Okay. What else? Any questions you like to submit to the show or corrections, feel free to submit them at YouTube, not YouTube, but Twitch TV, not Twitch TV, but aswitchtv@gmail.com. Yeah. Yeah, I said that right. I had to fact check that in my head real quick. Yeah, I think that's it. I do all the housekeeping. I think I did. Yeah, man. Pretty great week. Technically, I guess what would have been the end of E3 if that was a thing. Who knows what the status of E3 is going to be now that we've kind of been accustomed to this VOD live video format type deal. So who knows? But man, we officially are, well, at least pre-next gen now, or at least what, 6 months away from next gen. A new experience in gaming. It's great, man. It's great. Now that we have something to fathom and actually grasp now, it's pretty cool, man. I have to say. Definitely gonna miss our current generation. All of our games that we are playing now. Still have a lot of games. It's probably gonna be some games I'm just gonna miss completely. But hey, hopefully, depending on how backwards compatibility works for last gen. I know Xbox we good, but not so sure about PS5. Who knows? Yeah, guys. Oh yeah, you can also catch me tweet a lot of this stuff I'm talking about too, for people that want truncated stuff. People that don't like to read. I guess that's a lot of Twitter. You do read still. Maybe not as obliviously on Twitter, but you get what I'm saying. You can also follow me on Twitter at aswitch, where I do tweet video game related stuff with occasional booties that I like, but I don't want to show. I wish Twitter does fix that, because I don't want people seeing everything I like. All right. Like, damn, let me just like stuff and like it. Just be like Instagram, where you just like stuff, and people aren't inundated with like booties and very attractive people that you may like. You know, like, don't want to inundate people with that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Sorry, I'm just went on a total rant, but I'm just saying. Okay. Twitter, I know you listening to me because you already know. All right, Twitter, I know you watch everything. So stop it. Twitter, stop it. Just telling you right now. But I digress. Also, Black Lives Matter, okay? Just because we all inundated with this PS5 news, don't think we forgot, all right? A innocent black man was killed, all right? Based on police brutality, all right? Black Lives Matter. Also, don't cough. Get your game on. Oh, yeah.